Hello, we are the school counselors at Calvert High School. We would like to go over the registration materials for the 2020-2021 school year. First, I'd like to introduce ourselves. For students whose last names begin with the letter A through E, their counselor is Ms. St. Clair. Last names F through J, Mrs. Ayers. Last names K through Q, Ms. Ponte, and last names R through Z, Mr. Verlich. We want all students to keep in mind, as I go over the graduation course requirements, which of these classes have you taken already, or which are you planning to take next year? All of these requirements must be met in order to get a Maryland State diploma. Let's begin. English, you take it each year to earn your 4 credits. Math, you must also take this each year and earn 4 credits. If you are beyond 4 credits, it is still a requirement to take math each year. Social studies, you must have 3 credits. They are in U.S. history, government, and world history. In science, you need 3 credits. You also need a rigor credit. And a rigor credit is another core academic class or foreign language that is not one of your required classes. For example, you may take Journalism 1, which is an English class, which is not one of the required English classes. Journalism 1 could earn you a rigor credit. The next requirement is a fine art credit. You need 1 credit, and 1 credit equals a full year of a fine art class. That could be chorus, could be playing an instrument, theater, art, ceramics, photography. You need 1 fine art credit to graduate. You also need 1 tech ed credit. Examples of tech ed credits are Intro to Computer Science, Foundations of Technology, and Intro to Engineering. You need a half credit of PE, a half credit of health, and a half credit of financial literacy. And then you need to complete a pathway. A pathway takes at least 2 years to complete. Let's go over some examples of pathways. If you have 2 years of a foreign language, for example, Spanish 1 and Spanish 2, you are considered a college prep completer because 2 years of a foreign language is what is required to apply to a 4-year college. Students may choose other avenues in addition to college prep or instead of college prep. Other pathways may be the Academy of Finance, business, Project Lead the Way Biomed, engineering, criminal justice. You may also like to take a program at our Career Center. There's welding, cosmetology, graphic arts. A list of all available courses are on the course guide. So, in review, in order to graduate with a Maryland State diploma, you need to complete the courses we have just outlined. In addition, make sure that a pathway is included. You must complete the service learning requirement. Check your report card. If you have hours needed and you have any questions on how those hours could be met, please see Ms. Arison Guidance, who is the service learning coordinator. And finally, you must pass all state assessments needed in order to gain a Maryland State diploma. I'm now going to hand the mic over to Ms. Sinclair, who will continue with our presentation.
Hi, I'm Ms. Sinclair, and I'm going to be talking about some things that you might want to take if you are planning to go to a 4-year college after graduation. Some typical college admission requirements are having 2 years of the same foreign language. That counts as your college prep pathway if you do that in high school. Colleges do want to see the same foreign language. Also, they want to see that you're challenging yourself throughout your time here at Calvert High School. That means even if you are come to your senior year and you only need math and English as a requirement, you want to take a few more courses so that you're showing colleges that you're continuing your education and care about what classes you are taking. This may mean taking an AP class. Making sure that you are ready for an AP class is a concern, so we'll talk about that in a moment. If you have a specific college that you're thinking of, you can go to that college's website or use a site such as collegeboard.com to review what kind of requirements that school needs to be admitted there. Most of what you would take through your graduation requirements, including the college prep class, will meet most schools' requirements. AP classes. Many of you may have already taken some AP classes. They are challenging. One of the benefits of that is that it's a college level type course in high school, and you can earn college credit based on your score results if you take the AP exam. For an AP class, you can expect to have about an hour of homework each night per AP course. So if you are taking more than one, you want to make sure that you have enough time in your day and in your schedule to prepare for those courses. If you have sports that you participate in or you work outside of school, you want to make sure you're taking into account ways that you can prepare for the AP courses. If you're not sure of what an AP course requirement is to take that class, you can talk to the teacher in that subject area or your counselor. There are some supports that we have in place for any students taking an AP for the first time or taking one or two APs, and for students taking 3 or more AP classes. We have a course here at Calvert High School called Seminar for Advanced Studies. It's a course that is for either a half credit or a full credit, depending on what you need and can fit in your schedule, to have time to complete homework and study for AP courses. Because it does have a credit attached to it, either half or full credit, there are other assignments and you will receive a grade for that course. It would be a great pairing if you still need to do financial literacy, a half credit, to do another half credit of that advanced studies class, if it's your first time taking an AP course or you are continuing to take only one or two. If you are taking 3 or more AP courses, then you should consider taking a class called AP Seminar. This class is a pure study hall, and it meets in the media center, whatever period you're assigned, and you would have that time to study either in a group with other students at that time or on your own to study for your AP classes and exams. Because it does not have any work required of it, there is no credit that you will receive. Sometimes this may be a stressful situation to worry about not receiving credit, but most students who are taking 3 or more AP classes have already met the credit requirements for graduation. You need 23.5 credits to graduate. Even in high school, you have 28 opportunities to receive credit, and most students may come with middle school credits with them, which count towards their high school. So if you're taking 3 or more AP classes, I highly recommend taking that course, either half year or full year, so that you have time during the school day to complete work and work with other students. Now you're going to hear from Ms. Ponte about some course changes at Calvert High for next year.
Hi, I'm Ms. Ponte, and I'm going to talk about some of the changes in courses for the upcoming school year. All students will be able to access the course curriculum guide on the Calvert County Public Schools website, and that's the book that lists all of the course offerings along with course descriptions and prerequisites. So that's available online on the Calvert County Public Schools website. And 9th grade students also received a paper copy of that book during registration presentations. So here are the big changes for the upcoming school year. There is one new course, which is Advanced Math, and this course is designed to be a step after Algebra 2. So any students who are interested in this course can talk to their math teacher. Courses that are no longer being offered are Construction Design and Management, CDM, which is the course that Mr. Pike is currently teaching at the CTA at the Career Center. and aerobics, a PE class, is no longer going to be offered. Some changes in courses: stretching and toning, which is a PE class that Mrs. Fregiletti teaches, is now going to be called Fitness Fusion. So the course will stay the same, just the name changed. And fundamentals of movement, which is a PE course that our students with special needs take, that will now be called Unified PE and will also remain the same. So there's not too many changes for the upcoming school year in terms of courses. Some other things that are open to students are online courses. And there's two different times that a student can take an online course. They can take it during the regular school year or in summer, and I'll talk about summer courses in a few moments. But first, an online course that they take during the regular school day or the regular school year. And they can do this two ways. They can do it as one of their 7 periods, or they can take a full schedule and take an online class in addition. Now, if the student chooses to take a full course plus an online class, they will have to pay for that class, and each class runs about $300. But if a student takes an online class as one of their 7 periods, they do not have to pay for it. And you can see the list of courses that are offered on the screen. And there are a few different steps that students have to take to get signed up for an online course. They have to do online orientation and take a survey before they can officially be registered. So I would suggest that in addition to a student putting their online course on their registration form, that they also talk to their counselor so that they'll be able to access the information they need about registration and orientation so that they can sign up for the online course, because they do fill up pretty quickly. So online classes definitely are first come, first serve, especially with summer classes. You can see there's definitely fewer classes offered during the summer, but the summer classes are very popular and they tend to fill up pretty quickly. Registration this year for summer classes is going to be in May and June. And there again, there's some extra things that you'll have to do to register for an online class. You'll have to do orientation and an interest survey, and your counselor can help you out to get started with these steps. And keep in mind, over the summer, you'll have to pay per course, and each class runs about $300. So if that's something you're interested in, I would suggest seeing your counselor sooner rather than later so that you can get started to sign up for that class. Another opportunity that's available to our students, and this is only something that is available for seniors. They can do early release, which means they can leave early or come in late, depending on how their schedule works out. And there are a couple of things that students have to make sure that they meet in order to be able to do early release. The first thing is that they must have reliable transportation to and from school. A student cannot be in the school if they're not scheduled for a class. So for example, if a student doesn't have an 8th period class, they leave after 7th period, they cannot be in the building during 8th period. They must leave at the end of their class. Or vice versa. If they come in late, they cannot be here for any period that they don't have a class scheduled for. So we want to make sure that students have reliable transportation, whether they're coming in late or leaving early. The other thing is that classes have to be scheduled together. And what that means is that a student can't have any holes in their schedule. And sometimes it can get a little tough trying to fit certain classes in based on when they're offered. So we always suggest for students in that alternate section on their form to make sure they put alternates of classes that they would be willing to take, just in case they do have a hole that they need to fill in their schedule. And in order to be scheduled for early release, seniors must complete and turn in a pink early release permission form from their 8th period teacher or to their 8th period teacher, and they'll get a copy of this form with their registration form on February 27th. So while the seniors are the only ones who are eligible for early release, this is something that other students can think about. If it's something that they want to do when they're a senior, if they want to come in late or leave early, I suggest to schedule your classes accordingly and get your requirements done so that you have room to either leave early or come in late if that's what you want to do. Another opportunity that our students have is dual enrollment. And what this is basically taking classes at CSM. And they can do this 2 different ways. They can take certain classes here at Calvert High School with our teachers and apply to earn CSM credit. So the classes that work in this way are pre-calculus, academic pre-calculus, honors pre-calculus, and accelerated algebra 2 and pre-calc, and the senior English class, honors composition and rhetoric. So the students would take the class here with our teachers, and as long as they score high enough on exams and projects throughout the year, they can be eligible to earn the CSM credit as long as they pay for it.
The other way that students can take dual enrollment is by taking classes over at CSM. And this is an opportunity open to students in 11th and 12th grade. Now, for an 11th grade student, they would need to take a full schedule here and then go to CSM in the afternoon. But for 12th grade students, they can supplement a shortened schedule with early release by taking classes at CSM. So this is a great opportunity for students to earn some credits while they're still in high school. The deadline to sign up for dual enrollment, taking classes actually at CSM, is July 15th. And I will warn you, over the summer, not every counselor is here every day. So a student who wants to take classes at CSM should see their counselor before the end of the school year to get this paperwork taken care of, just to make sure we can get everything all set before the summer begins. And the CSM's website has fantastic information about dual enrollment and the classes that are available. And of course, if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to speak with your counselor about what this would look like for you. Another opportunity that's available just for our rising seniors is the Career Exploration Program. And this is the new form of the mentorship program. And what this does is it gives students the opportunity to be able to essentially intern and shadow a particular person who works in a field that they're interested in, and also earn some high school credit while they do it. Students have to do 50 hours of shadowing, and then they do a little project that sort of shows them about what they learned while they interned and while they shadowed. So this is something that's available as well. And if you have any questions, you can see your counselor or email Ms. McGuffin at the email address listed on the form. Mr. Verlich is now going to talk about the process of registration day and what will happen here at Calvert High School as we get ready to choose our courses for next year.
This is Mr. Verlich, and I am going to talk about the registration process. Registration day will be on Thursday, February 27th. You will receive a registration form in first period that you will fill in with your course requests on that day. Throughout the day, your teachers will then sign to approve your course choices. Between now and the 27th, you should be deciding what courses you would like to take. Also talking with your teachers about some of those decisions. On the 27th, at the end of the day, you will return your completed form to your 8th period teacher at the end of the day. Make sure you have done your form in blue or black ink. This is a copy of what a registration form would look like. As you are filling it out, please make sure to fill it out completely, starting at the top with your name, address, phone number, and all pertinent information. Make sure that you take it from class to class to get the teachers to put in the course numbers, also to initial off on the correct course that you should be in for next year. You should be doing that for all of your academic classes and any class that might require a prerequisite. Make sure that you fill out the form completely. If you are in 9th, 10th, or 11th grade for the next year, you should be filling it out with 7 full periods. If you are a senior, you may not have a full form. Also, as you are filling the form out, be conscious of the alternate selections at the bottom and think about choosing your alternates wisely too. For example, if you have an art class like art and design on this form as one of your 7 classes, have an alternate that's also an art class like theater that's on this form. That way, if you don't get art, we can go ahead and put another art in for you and help fulfill your graduation requirements. Again, as you're filling this out, make sure everything is filled out completely. You will fill this form out on the 27th, and it will be collected at the end of that school day by your 8th period teacher. Students who do not return forms, or who return incomplete forms without signatures or course choices listed, will have courses chosen for them. That is not what we want to do, but sometimes we have to if you don't fill things in correctly. Moving on to the next day, February 28th, you will receive your form back from your 8th period teacher on February 28th. From there, the next step is for you to enter your courses into HACC. Directions will be given to you on how to enter courses into Hack from the counselors. You received those in the presentations or as you were watching the video in English class. You must complete this step by Friday, March 6th. You must also return your registration form with signatures from both you and your parent to your 8th period teacher by Friday, March 6th. Directions on how to enter courses on Hack are on the handout you received today and also on the CCPS website. Counselors will be available the following week, March 2nd through March 6th, in room 307 to help you enter your courses on Hack. Please be sure your Hack matches what you have written on your registration sheet. That is very important. We will be checking those for accuracy. Also, if you are a current 10th grader and would like to attend the CTA or Career and Technology Academy next year, you must complete the CTA interest survey. It is online. It was also given to students in the presentation that they heard, given to the 10th graders. CTA interest surveys are due by February 27th. This is the priority deadline. CTA open house for parents and students is February 26th at 6:30. Just reviewing some of the important dates to remember. February 27th is registration day. February 27th is also the priority deadline to complete the CTA interest surveys. And if you are interested in attending those CTA programs, please make sure to make that priority deadline to help ensure you getting into the program you may be interested in. Registration forms will be returned to students the following day, February 28th, and then the next week from March 2nd to March 6th, counselors will be in room 307 at lunch to help you enter your courses on Hack and answer any scheduling questions. The deadline to enter courses into Hack is March 6th, and the deadline for students to hand their registration forms into their 8th period teachers is also March 6th. If you have any questions about registration, talk to your counselor as soon as possible.